No, wait! Stop! Don't do that!
Hey, what's the deal? I'm trying to forage here.
Well, I know that escargot is a delicacy, but slugs and snails actually carry a parasite called rat lungworm that will cause meningitis, and it's not pleasant. It could kill you, so don't do that. Plus, you could have been eating poisonous things in your mom's garden.
Oh, so is there any way I can prevent that?
No problem. You can just starve that thing for a few days and cook it. Cook it well, and you can even gut it for good measure.
Well, what should I feed it?
Cornmeal, oatmeal, or some sort of fresh grain.
Okay.
You guys stink. I'm officially a bad slug farmer. I went away for a hike for 3 days and I came back and one is dead and the food is pretty gross. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make an improved terrarium for them so I can monitor how gross it's getting. Okay, I think they're much happier this time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to throw them in the fridge for a few minutes to kind of slow them down and maybe stop them from feeling pain when I kill them. Okay, well those guys are chilling out. I'm gonna get the next part prepped. 3 main problems with eating slugs, and snails for that matter, is that they could be eating toxic fungus or plants. Rat lungworm, which can cause meningitis in humans, and slime, which is just gross. So I've gotten rid of their potentially toxic food by purging them. Usually that process should be at least a week. I did mine almost 2 weeks because the cage got gross. To add to that, you'll see some people suggesting cornmeal or oats, and some people suggesting greens. I suggest the greens because those didn't get all moldy. Both the oats and the cornmeal did. But because of the mold and the dead slug, I am going to gut it, but I'm going to do that after I deslime it. So all I'm going to do for desliming is I'm going to mix half a cup of apple cider vinegar with half a cup of water, boil that, and then I'll drop those little slugs in, and it should kill them like that. As I'm waiting for the next pot of water to boil, I'm going to gut these. They have shrunk a lot. And I think with bigger slugs, it's a more practical idea to gut them. So if this was a banana slug, gutting this would obviously be a lot easier, but it's just a little guy. We'll try anyway. One source suggested cutting their head off and squeezing, but that would mean doing it while they were still slimy. And then I'll give them another boil. This one will be more like 5 minutes. You definitely want it to be more like 10 for a bigger slug, especially if you didn't leave them in for way too long in the vinegar boil. If there's any slime on them, change the water again. The cooking process is absolutely the most important thing you can do to prevent rat lungworm. Also wash your hands every time that you handle the raw slugs and avoid touching them at all if you can. So I'm just putting a bit of flour and salt and a lot of garlic powder. I'm just going to stick them in and roll them around and drop them in the frying pan. Here you go, Clay. Lunch is served. Oh, he did it! Before me.
That's my favorite part of the snail right there.
It's a slug.
Slug. Oh. Yummy!
I can't believe it. So the look on my face probably told you what I thought. It didn't taste bad. It actually tasted quite a bit like calamari. I mean, it's battered and fried, so that helps. But I couldn't get over the mental block of thinking that this is a slug and is gross. It would have been interesting to have just kept one of the boiled slugs and tried to eat that, because obviously in a survival situation, you're going to be eating the boiled slug. But I don't know if I would have been able to get over the mental block. Which brings me to a survival situation, because you're probably not going to be carrying vinegar around with you. So you could use salt water to deslime the slug, or just use changes of boiled water. The most important thing is to cook it and to either starve it or gut it, or both. But slugs do have a lot of protein. They are a very nutritious option in a survival situation. But cook them. And it's worth it right now. Like, go Google it right now. Look up rat lungworm and see if it's an issue in your area. And if it is, it's probably worth it to avoid eating slugs, even if you do cook them well. Okay, now it's time for
The channel of the week.
this week. I'd like to send a shout out to Ian Phillips. He does wildlife videos in the UK, and he often focuses on the little creepy crawly creatures. And in fact, here's a link to a video of a time-lapse snail, another gastropod that you can eat, following pretty much the same steps as this video. But yeah, go check out Ian Phillips, and you can subscribe to me. And there are some other videos, and below here there's also a little gray bell symbol. You should click on that and never miss another video from me again. Okay, so long, and see you next week ish.